Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and a very exciting video. So a couple of years ago you would have seen I did some hydro dipping with some Jesmonite and some spray paint in water. Wow, this is a brand new technique and I know you're gonna love it, and I guarantee you're all gonna want to try it. I watched a video by Never Perfect Resin and she did the same kind of thing using spray paint on the surface of water, but not to hydro dip her work. She hydro dipped her molds, her actual silicone molds. She just dunked them straight in the water and the spray paint, and oh my goodness me, the results were so incredible. I knew I wanted to try it and I have been holding out, guys. I have been waiting for the perfect time. Now, seeing as we are in the neon season on my channel, I had to run to Amazon. I say run, online, you know how it is, and bought some neon spray paints. I figured, hey, if we're gonna do it, we need to do it right. The first thing I did was get some lukewarm water in a bucket. The bucket is from the pound shop, and I sprayed my spray paint as I've done many times before, but this time it was a little bit different. I don't know what the spray paint is made of, but it wasn't acting in the same way as the metallic sprays I'm used to. So when I ran my stick through the paints to try and get them to create a marbling effect, it just didn't work. It was picking them all up completely, like immediately. So I decided to just roll with it and not touch the spray paint at all. And I kind of went like can of spray paint in each hand, like literally spray. I was not hanging around. The water, like I said, is lukewarm. I believe this is what you need when you are doing spray painting and hydro dipping. Now, I did get a comment in that video last year before, saying this is not hydro dipping. Well, we're going to call it that for the sake of the video. So again, left hand, right hand, spray, immediately, one after the other, and we are creating these super cool stripy designs, and they are beautiful. Now, if you watch Never Perfect Resin's video, she did in fact use some metallics and white, and I do believe they're probably a better quality spray paint, and she was able to get some stunning marbling on her molds. So please do go share the love with Never Perfect Resin, because she is fully the inspiration behind me trying it, and I must give full credit to that video because it was unreal. Okay, back to my video. We're just carrying on. I'm gonna do 4 molds, so I'm doing 2 sets of trays, 2 trays, 1 coaster, and then we're gonna do some little hearts as well. So I've got a whole tray of hearts. We're gonna dip that on this one, and guys, stop it, I had so much fun. Now, I did do this on a very sunny, warm morning in my garden. I don't know if temperature affects spray paint. I don't know enough about it, but I can promise you this: the results will blow you away. And as far as resin goes, this has to be surely one of the easiest techniques to get a really cool design in the surface of your resin, because you're just dipping the mold. Like, it blew, honestly, I'm not going to say it blew me away again, because that will be like the 3rd time that I say it. But yeah, I've been itching to do this, and it did not disappoint. I couldn't believe just how well the silicone was picking up the spray paint. And part of me thought the silicone would repel it, because sometimes when you put like acrylic paint into silicone, the silicone doesn't like the acrylic paint and it kind of like makes it move, and it doesn't like it. But this worked a dream. Next step, make sure that there is absolutely no sign of water whatsoever left on your molds before you add your epoxy resin. Now, I did this 2 ways. I left them out in the sunshine for an hour, but when I brought them back in, there was still some water droplets in and around the nooks, the crannies and the edges. And I went straight in with some kitchen towel, and I'll be honest, I did think that it was a risky maneuver, but actually nothing came off. I was worried that if I put too much pressure down on the kitchen towel to get rid of the water, that I would peel back somehow the spray paint, but that never happened. So it was really robust and quite forgiving. You can really go in and like press and like really get down in there. So don't worry about that either. With the heart mold, I noticed that some of those teeny tiny little baby hearts never actually took the spray paint fully inside them. the spray paint covered them over like a blanket. So I did actually push the spray paint back down with my finger so that it went into the heart. As for the trays, really easy. Again, the paper towel I'm using is just Costco, like it's quite thick paper towel. But yeah, it was so forgiving. I could really get down in there, making sure there was no water. That is key here. Now, as for the background colours, I already knew I wanted to go white. Everything was going to be in white. Excuse my Bella Swan ketchup bottle shaking technique here. Don't ask me why I shook the bottle that many times. Just call me Bella. Yeah, so I decided that everything's going to be white, but I really should be looking at this as a kind of a tester as well to see if it works well with a black background. So just for the purposes of this video, I did do a few in a black background, and I have sped this up because I went real slow. I just allowed it to drip down off of my lollipop stick into the teeny tiny little hearts because I didn't want to make too much of a mess. As for the rest, it's all going to be white. Now, that was just my brain telling me that the white is really going to make the neon pop and it would be the best outcome. However, if you have hydro dipped your molds, please let me know in the comment section down below. And please don't forget to go and check out Never Perfect Resin, because I'm actually going to leave the video that inspired me so much. I'm going to leave it linked right at the very top of my description box so you guys can all go over and show some love to the original creator of at least where I got it from, where I was inspired from. As for the pigments, I'm using the Vista Black and the Vista White pigment. The resin is the Let's Resin 24-hour Cure Epoxy Resin. And yeah, it all works a dream. Now you can see me here. I didn't fully fill up the molds until I knew I had just enough to cover the molds. But as it happens, I pretty much mixed up bang on what I needed for both of the trays, the coaster, and then I had enough left to fill up the rest of the hearts using the white as well. So this was all just very much me testing out this technique, and I cannot tell you how nervous I was. If you're worried about the silicone molds themselves, the dried spray paint that is in and around and on the base of the silicone molds peels off. It just simply peels off like a dream, which brings me to something else I want to try. I want to try spray painting directly into the molds and maybe pour resin and see what happens then, and hopefully that will be the next video. But yeah, I'm hopefully if the weather changes, because it's been pretty rainy, if we get a little bit of sun, I'm going to run in the garden and we're going to do that as well. But here are the results. This is 24 hours later, and to tell you I am obsessed is an understatement. Yes, I was going for an incredible marble with the spray paint. I just couldn't get it to do it. The spray paint is very different to anything I'm used to, but look at this. This looks like ceramic stone tile. Like, it is so shiny. The results are beautiful. Now, we do have surface layer air pockets, and that is because the spray paint would have caught some air underneath it, and of course the resin is not going to get there. So it's all good though. We are not leaving these as they are right now. We're going to be adding to them and making them even, although I have to say I love this as it is. It looks like an ancient rock formation that's been put into Unicolor. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's been added to. But yeah, the molds came out super clean, delicious, and the results speak for themselves. I just wish I could have got like a marble effect, and I'm definitely gonna maybe use some of my Rust-Oleum metallic sprays to see if I can do this but get that marble that Never Perfect Resin got, because that was stunning. As for this one, green and yellow is they're not really my colours, they're not really my cup of tea, but it looks okay. Looks like maybe the side of a watermelon, I don't know, like I don't know, a vegetable basically. As for the hearts, there was a distinct difference between backing them in black and backing them in white. I must say I prefer the white, but the larger the piece, the better the result is what I found with these, especially with the black. So the black on the left really makes those spray paints pop, and the one on the right is, again, it's beautiful. So simple to do. Like, how easy is this? Especially if you don't want to go down the hydro dipping route. You know, you could, I'm sure you could find some way of getting this result without having to hydro dip your mold. I don't know. Let me know if there is. I don't know. But yeah, love, love, love. The black, like I said, not really my jam, but the bigger hearts were beautiful. They just look like you've spent time using maybe some inks, some kind of marbling inks, and you've dipped your resin hearts in, but without actually doing that. Like, I just think it's incredible. As for the rest of the hearts, I'm not going to lie, they didn't come out that great. They're all a little bit meh for me. I think with the black background, it took away a lot of the colour, whereas the white background definitely made everything pop so much more. And then the smaller you got, the less detail there was. But on them tiny hearts, that's where the spray paint really struggled to get in anyway. And the small black hearts were absolutely nothing to write home about. So the bigger the piece, the better I think the results are going to be. And as for cleaning the molds, like I said, they were so easy. Literally just got a piece of tape, I ran it over the surface, and this is just me showing you how cool this tape looks. Like, how beautiful is this? You could use this on its own in a separate piece, in a separate project. But you guys know me, I couldn't leave them there. I had to fulfill, because I am coming to the end of my Neon 80s series, I had to fulfill my Neon 80s dream and finally get to my Cricut. I typed in 80s design on the Cricut design space and look what came up. This is exactly what I had on my coat as a child. So I duplicated the design so that I had two of them, and it's going to fit across this tray absolutely perfectly because I measured, and there's just a little bit of excess that I do need to cut off around the edges. But I had to do this because I knew how close I was to no longer doing neons. I've probably got one video left and then we are done. Let me know in the comment section down below, if you are still here after nearly 12 minutes, what my next season should be. Should I just go straight into summer? Should I go botanicals, tropical, jungle, or animals, or oceans? Let me know what you would like to see next, what season you would like to see next in the comment section down below. Back to the video. We are peeling off the transfer tape, and this design is everything 80s. Like, it just screams, Stranger Things. We are carrying on with the next one. Shout out if you see the design. I've sped it up for you because this was long. This was long. You guys know I hate weeding, but when I'm in love with something, listen, all of the tiny little intricate details were worth it. Can you see it? Yeah, you guys know. We were talking about it not long ago. There's the stopper, because you know if you're going too fast down that street and your stoppers have actually like burnished down and they're nothing but stumps, you're gonna fly. You're gonna fly. Got some roller skates. I nearly cried when I found this image on the Cricut design space. They are almost identical to the roller skates I had as a child. When I want to say I was about 12 when I got roller skates, maybe 11. I love this design, and it is just so indicative of that time frame. And you know, roller skating is so back on trend right now. I know it's crazy, everything comes around. But like, so is neon clothing, and like all of the crazy fashion that was around in the 80s and the early 90s. It's all coming back around, and they're calling it vintage, which kind of hurts me. But here they are. Here are the roller skates. I absolutely love them. I did talk about whether I wanted to hand draw them, but guys, there's no way. There is no way I could hand draw these. I just love them. My next decision was, do I leave them like this, like literal, just a black simple line drawing outline, or do I really add to them and bring them back into some kind of resemblance of the skates I had when I was younger? So I did decide to go in. Again, this is all optional. You guys just do whatever it is you feel like, what path you want to go down. But I did decide to add in some of those old kind of, I'm going to use the word, vintage colours that we would have seen on our roller skates when we were younger. Although I'm pretty sure the roller skates I had in like whenever it was were like brown and orange. I'm pretty sure they were brown and orange. They for sure did not have these purple heels. So I did go off track a little bit here because, you know, it was a long time ago, even though the 80s was only, 11 years ago? I should remember that, but I don't. How cool do these look? The actual roller skates, I cannot even get over it. There was one more design and you guys know I had to do it, and this was a little VHS tape. Now, I have to be honest with you, the green and yellow coaster, it's not me. I'm not a big fan of the colorways. It just wasn't crying out to me at all. It wasn't making my heart sing in the same way that the trinket trays were making my heart sing. And even when I put the VHS tape down, I was like, this doesn't work. This doesn't work at all. But it's all good. Horses for courses, guys. There's going to be someone out there that kind of likes this. It's very, very funky, but the VHS tape, stop it. Beautiful. Now, back to the roller skates. I did add to them. I coloured in the stoppers at the front, the rubber stoppers, but also I coloured in the metal. So I added some silver metallic pen to where those metal bits were underneath, holding your whole life together as you sped down the road at 97 miles an hour and someone was shouting at you to stop. They're the metal bits that would really hurt you when you fell over and hit something. Okay, we are done. I've just used my deburring tool to finish up the edges a little bit. Some of the spray paint was kind of like overlapping, but it is time to top coat these, mainly to seal the vinyl in. But guys, first, check this out. Check this out. How cool do they look under neon light? I thought, wait, they're neons, therefore they're UV. Let's check it out and see what they look like under the UV light. And so cool. This one here is a wow. Like, even the edges are glowing under the UV light. There's got to be something you could do with this, like maybe a giant resin clock or some kind of crazy neon design with these spray paints, and then a vinyl decal over the top, knowing it will glow in a UV light. The possibilities are endless. Anyway, the top coat time. We are using the Let's resin again and again. I've put the part A in a really hot bath for 10 minutes. The crystal clarity of this resin, crystal, like it looks like water at this point because it's had that hot bath. It's pretty clear anyway, but my craft room got cold overnight, so it was needed to have a little hot bath. And you don't want to put too much in. You still want your trays to be trays, so you just want enough that the resin reaches all around the edges, all the way to the edges, and you don't have any potential for fish eyes developing or potential for the resin to pull away from the edges, which can happen if you don't put enough in. Equally, you don't want to put too much in and you get holes. This was cool. I poured some resin straight into the center of the coaster. Can you see what it's done? It's actually stopped at the top of the VHS tape, which I just thought was so cool. That thin layer of vinyl was enough to stop resin in its tracks. If you are new to epoxy resin does not go where epoxy resin has not been, meaning it will stop at the edges of your piece. It will not flow over the edge if, oh, there's an if you don't pour too much on. If your surface is flat as a pancake, completely level, and if you don't have any gaping holes around the edges of your pieces, your resin will not fly off the edge. Okay, this is it. Final results. I'm absolutely loving them. Fully obsessed with these, but the roller skates are the main character. Not a fan of the green and yellow, but hey, I needed to try it for the purposes of the hydro dipping. The hydro dipping for me is just a simple technique. You spray your spray paint into your lukewarm water, you dip your mould, you back it with resin. That's it. Job done. The hearts were beautiful, make perfect gifts. The trays came out beautiful even without any vinyl decal, but you guys know I was itching to do the roller skates. I love them. I absolutely love them. The technique is unreal. It worked a dream. And it was just so much easier from what you saw me do. Guys, I don't even remember if it was last year or the year before. I was doing a space theme, I think, and I dipped some Jesmonite directly into water with spray paint. They came out great. I mean, they did come out great, but dipping the mould? Come on now, like, game changer. I already spoke with my patrons about this over on Patreon, and I already know a few of you guys want to run and try this. So yeah, it was so much fun as well. It just breaks things up and makes things more interesting, and you never know what you're going to get because you will never ever get two pieces the same ever. It's not possible, and that is exciting. I hope you have found this helpful. Please go and share the love with the original video where I saw this Never Perfect Resin. I will tag her channel and her video down below so you can go and share the love with her. Tell her I sent you, and massive thank you to Never Perfect Resin for the inspiration, because wow, I feel inspired. I really appreciate you all for being here. Thank you so much if you've been in the live chat. This was a bit longer. We're over 20 minutes already. So if you are still here, thank you. I massively appreciate you. For everyone else, I appreciate you too. Please hit that thumbs up, because that is what means the most to me. And that lets YouTube know you like my content. Yeah, I'm out of breath. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.